Those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. This is Success with Srini.
Today on the podcast, I'm sharing something with you that I recently shared with a bunch of business owners, entrepreneurs. Recently, last week, I was speaking to a group of business owners and entrepreneurs, and I was sharing, my presentation was the 5 ultra secrets of successful entrepreneurs. Now, there are many secrets when it comes to entrepreneurs, but according to me, I was sharing the 5 ultra secrets. These are the 5 things that I did or I do as a part of my entrepreneurial journey. Now, I'll give you the background of this meeting so that everything I'm sharing with you makes sense. So for about 5 years, I ran an inner circle where a bunch of us get together, kind of a mastermind where we share what's happening in our business life and what's happening in our personal life, like personal development stuff. So each one of us will get like 30 minutes or 45 minutes and we talk everything that's happening in business and in our life. The idea is that all of us walk away from the room with some great insights. So we learn from each other. That's the idea. I'm the mastermind of the mastermind, I'm putting everything together, but I'm not the teacher in the room. Everybody teaches everybody and everybody learns from everyone. So the last time I did a mastermind like this, or the inner circle mastermind, we used to meet once a quarter, and then since last October, we haven't done this. So just last month, I initiated the call. I said, hey guys, has been a long time. Let's get together and see where we are. Not that I want to do this going forward, but it was kind of checking on each other and trying to see how each one of us is doing. So as a part of this meeting, I said there are 5 things that ultra entrepreneurs do, like super successful entrepreneurs do. And these are the 5 ultra secrets. And that was the overall presentation. I want to give you a quick snippet of what I shared. And this was a 45-minute presentation, but you will get an idea and you will get an insight into how I was thinking through this. This is what I do. And if you are considering becoming an entrepreneur or you are already an entrepreneur, then this is going to help you. Now, if you are not an entrepreneur and you're still listening to this podcast, I promise you, everything in life is entrepreneurship anyway. There are many things that you are doing that are not working. There are many things that you are doing that are working, and most of that has an element of hope and an element of exploration anyway. So you will get some value out of today's podcast, regardless of what stage of life you are in and what role you play. This podcast has listeners who are homemakers, who are students, who are retired, who are elderly, who are professionals, and all different kinds of people listen to the podcast, and I get the feedback. So that's how I know who is listening. So all of you, my goal with today's content is that you will benefit from it anyway. So I'm only giving and sharing that which will make sense to you. So you'll get like the 1% of what I shared in the room, but still this 1% is going to make sense as if it's 100% for you. That's my goal. Okay, so let's get into this. The first ultra secret is entrepreneurs read. And they read a lot. And this reading is something that I have been insisting a lot on this podcast and also on my radio shows. Read a lot. And as you read, you do something incredible to your brain. Your brain will start behaving as if it's living that which it's reading. So input matters. So put in as much as you can. Don't worry about retention. Don't worry about memory. But just get into the habit of reading a lot. It does incredible things to your understanding. The reason why entrepreneurs read a lot is because entrepreneurs by default are action takers. So if by just reading, assimilating, and getting information, if the action in itself improves, then why not? Why not improve the action? So they read to take action. Entrepreneurs do. The second is entrepreneurs are risk takers. The reason why they take risks is because, and I was thinking about this, as an entrepreneur, people give up their savings, people give up their houses, people give up their jobs. all kind of sacrifices they make. They are extreme risk takers. I think myself to be an extreme risk taker, and I've done some crazy things. Love the risk. And sometimes the risk has to do with life. Also loved that part too. And I'm looking for opportunities to take risk myself. So, you see that? Entrepreneurs are always chasing opportunities. So they stretch what they have so that they can chase opportunities. So when you stretch something, you are risking for it to break. We all stretch. And entrepreneurs stretch. Hence, they are risk takers. So risk is a big element in this. The third one is revenue. Revenue is all the time looking for what can I do to increase revenues. Shall I raise my price? Shall I make another offer? Shall I make an upsell and downsell offer? Or shall I do something? What can I do to raise it? Shall I add more leads? Or shall I convert existing leads better? Or shall I make more offers to existing customers which I converted? This is the mindset. Constantly thinking and looking into, what can I do to increase revenues? Now, if you're an employee right now, let's say you have a job and you don't have a business, you should be asking the same question. What can I do to increase my revenues? And sometimes I hear people telling me, oh, I'm going to go and invest in stock market and I'm going to, save or whatever. Yeah, all makes sense, but you got to be thinking a lot about whatever ways you can, legally, ethically, morally, in whatever state you are in right now, to increase revenues, and that will involve saving more or investing more, whatever it is. But you need to start putting pressure on that side of the brain for it to start expanding and thinking so it can create possibilities for you. Then entrepreneurs do an ultra secret. The fourth ultra secret is entrepreneurs relate. See, relate means network, meet people. Every interaction, every conversation creates a possibility, and we don't know whether it is a revenue possibility or it's a co-creation possibility. We do not know but we know that every relationship or every interaction has some value that may not be directly a currency value, but it could be some intrinsic value. We do not know what it is, but it has some. So entrepreneurs keep on building relationships, and a part of the relationship building involves networking, and a lot of networking. So there is also another aspect of this relationship building is communication. So I'm an entrepreneur. This is the podcast. I'm communicating with you. If I'm not relatable and this is not making sense, what will you do? You listen to me because you may know me or you heard about me, whatever, somebody told you to listen to the podcast, you're going to tune out. And you may not never come back. The data shows now that people who stop listening, they perpetually stop listening. It's hard to bring them back to listen to something. So there's a lot of pressure on me, and I need to relate to you in a way that it makes sense. If not, to you. And it's hard because I'm not listening from you as I'm trying to make you listen to who I am and what I'm doing here. So there's a tremendous amount of responsibility and pressure on my end, on me, to make every conversation I have here more meaningful to you. If not, there is nothing meaningful together we can create. So as an entrepreneur, you have to keep on looking into improving your communication. I talk about it a lot on the podcast. You need to look ways and means to increase your vocabulary, the way you deliver, the way you create emotions, the way you create everything. And I've been very vocal about the challenges I have about speaking English, because English is not my first language, and I struggle a lot because I've studied 3 different languages in school and I learned 3 different ways to convey my feelings. It's very hard to speak English. I really have to dial in to speak English. Hard, but has to be done. Entrepreneurs do. They network. So keep networking. It doesn't matter. You're an employee, you're looking for a job, network hard. And the last one is, the 5th one is to recover. Listen, all of us, you, me, at this minute, in this moment, all of us are taking risks. We all are risk takers, and talked about risk taking already. But then there's also one other thing we are doing, which we consciously may agree, may not agree. Most people don't agree, but I want you to agree, which is we are making decisions. In this moment, right now, either you are entering into something or you're exiting something. That means you made a decision to get in, and you are making a decision right now to come out. So we make decisions. By simply raising the quality of the decisions that you are making right now, you raise the quality of your life. So as an entrepreneur, and specifically in this context, entrepreneurs are trying to raise the quality of the decision making. So constantly they're making decisions. Some decisions do play out well in favor, some do not. And every time there is a wrong decision, there is a setback, there is some regression there. They pull back. They have to now recover very, very quickly. So recovering from losses, recovering from bad investments, recovering from a bad client interaction, recovering from a bad personal conversation, whatever it is, entrepreneurs go through a lot. And recovery is an important element. You get the idea now. So these are the 5 R's. My presentation was the 5 R's, the 5 ultra secrets of entrepreneurs, and I call them the 5 R's. Read, risk, revenue, relate, and recover. I oversimplified this, but I went very in detail. I went very deep into this presentation. Hopefully you got some value from this. Hopefully I was able to relate. Hopefully I was able to read this out. Hopefully you took it in without experiencing any risk. Hopefully this will create some revenues for you. Hopefully you will be able to recover from something that you did without much knowledge, some loss you had as a result of today's podcast. Okay, that's all for now. Wherever you are, be safe, and I'll be talking to you as early as tomorrow. Thank you.